Poor black maid stole millionaire's Ferrari to save his son. What he did shocked everyone. Maria Johnson had spent most of her life cleaning other people's houses, scrubbing floors that would never feel like home, dusting shelves filled with luxuries she could only dream of. Every morning, she rode 2 buses to reach the sprawling mansion of billionaire businessman Richard Harrison, a man known for his wealth, not his warmth. She moved quietly through his marble halls, unseen and unheard, like a shadow in someone else's world. But one fateful afternoon, Maria found herself making a decision that would change both their lives forever. It was a scorching summer day when Maria's phone buzzed in her apron pocket. She wasn't supposed to take personal calls during work, but the panic in her sister's voice made her heart stop cold. Her only son, 8-year-old Malik, had collapsed at school and was being rushed to the hospital. He had a rare heart condition that needed immediate surgery. The doctors said they could save him, but only if he arrived at the city's specialized children's hospital in time. The ambulance had been delayed, traffic was a nightmare, and every passing second felt like a death sentence. Maria dropped her mop and ran toward the front door but froze. She couldn't make it to the hospital on foot or by bus, not fast enough. Then her eyes landed on the gleaming red Ferrari parked in the driveway, the one Richard Harrison treasured more than anything else. Her hands trembled as 1,000 thoughts raced through her mind. She had never even sat in a car like that, let alone driven one. But in that moment, all that mattered was Malik. Without thinking twice, Maria grabbed the keys from the counter where Richard had left them and bolted. The engine roared to life as she pressed the gas with all her might. The Ferrari tore through the streets, weaving between cars, horns blaring behind her. She didn't care about the flashing red lights or the police sirens that soon followed. All she could see was her son's face, pale and scared, waiting for his mama to save him. When she finally screeched to a halt in front of the hospital, paramedics rushed Malik inside just in time. Doctors prepared for surgery, telling Maria that her quick actions had given her boy a fighting chance. But relief was short-lived. Moments later, the police arrived, handcuffs in hand. Richard Harrison had reported his Ferrari stolen. As Maria stood there, tears streaming down her face, she tried to explain, but the officers only heard the word, stolen. Then Richard himself showed up, his face flushed with fury. Cameras from curious onlookers recorded every second. A poor black maid stealing from her billionaire boss, it was the kind of scandal tabloids devoured. But what happened next stunned the entire crowd. Richard approached Maria, ready to unleash his anger, but when he saw her shaking hands clutching Malik's tiny fingers through the hospital bed rail, something inside him shifted. He listened as Maria, choking on sobs, explained why she had taken the car. Her desperation, her fear, the way her entire world revolved around one small boy, Richard saw it all. He thought of his own son, now grown and distant, whom he'd once failed to prioritize because of his obsession with wealth and status. Suddenly, the Ferrari seemed meaningless compared to what Maria had done, a mother willing to risk everything, even her freedom, for her child. Without hesitation, Richard turned to the police officers. "Drop the charges," he ordered. "She didn't steal my car. She borrowed it to save her son. And that makes her braver than I'll ever be." Gasps filled the hospital corridor as he pulled out his checkbook, writing a number that made Maria's knees buckle. "This is for Malik's surgery and every medical bill he'll ever have," Richard said softly. "No mother should have to choose between the law and saving her child." Word of the incident spread across the city and beyond, making headlines worldwide. A story that began with judgment and division transformed into one of compassion and unity. Maria's tears of fear turned to tears of gratitude as Malik's surgery was a success. Richard visited often, building a bond with the boy he helped save. In time, he offered Maria not just her job back but a full scholarship for Malik's future, saying, "Every child deserves a chance to dream big, no matter where they come from." Months later, Maria stood on her small porch holding Malik's hand, watching him laugh and play as though the world had never tried to take him away. Her heart swelled with hope, not just because of her son's health, but because of a powerful truth she had learned: kindness could bridge any gap. Between rich and poor, between strangers, between lives that seemed worlds apart. And sometimes, all it took was one act of courage and one moment of compassion to remind humanity that we are all connected, that love is worth more than all the Ferraris in the world.